Hey, good morning, folks. This is Susan, and I want to talk about these atomic weapons and the deterrence programs. This whole Earth is as if the way I'm trying to explain to you that is apparent. You can just see it. With all of these atomic bombs that have been built, very different one from another, throughout the earth, it's as if the earth were suicidal. As if the whole earth were a suicidal being, living organism with strapped up bombs. Bombs strapped up everywhere. And it's just a matter of timing before they go off. I mean, y'all are talking about, how these tests have to be conducted, and, that such country hasn't done a test in so long, so indicating that maybe they need to, that there needs to be another test to see the accuracy of it. So, what you're not understanding is that you're committing a crime. All of y'all are committing a crime, not only against humanity here on earth, but against the universe. If those bombs were to go off and wipe out the earth, it has a consequence. Not only will it affect the solar system, because it's like a domino effect. The destruction of earth has a consequence within the solar system, within the space, the universe. And it has escalated because our very nations, our United Nations, hasn't done what it was supposed to do a long time ago. The United Nations has allowed for these bombs to be built. And the laws have changed. The way that these bombs were put together years ago is not the same way that they're being put together now. And the bombs are so different one from the other, and the laws. But there's one universal danger here, that you have taken our planet hostage and strapped up bombs around it, so the whole earth is like a time bomb. I want to know how intelligent or how safe this is for national security of y'all's national country. The United Nations should have prohibited and should have insisted on disarmament, as President Eisenhower pursued back when he was walking physically this earth. He was a 5-star general. He is. So, the way that our militaries function nowadays is not remotely the way they functioned back then. And it has become more and more destructive. And it has nothing to do with national security. It has to do with mental illness among you, to the point where you're so mentally unstable that you cannot see your own filth. I am speaking to you directly from God. This does not come from me, and I am not suicidal, and I fear no man. I fear God only, and I have no weapons. None. You talk about national security, and you talk about protecting your own among you. Yet, you invade people's homes, take their kids away from them, and to utilize war tactic so that you never give those children back to their parents. You perverted and perverse people. Buying and selling of children among you, the nations, is a crime against God. And I am his daughter. I am not a biblical whore. And I'm not going to be invited to make a fool out of me anywhere. You can film me butt naked, and you can film me going to the restroom. You can film me having sex. I don't care, because this whole thing is a psychological war just to have your little time bombs. Oh, she speaks? We will put it out there. I am wearing my banana clip, and I fear you not. I am willing to speak all. And when Alabama looks at itself in the mirror of Mississippi, it's making a grave mistake. We must look up in the mirror of heaven. Because otherwise, nothing clean is going to come out of this. Since I was a child, I have been aware about these cameras. But if I cannot help my behavior due to your testing, you cannot sue me. You cannot blame me. I wash my hands. If I am mentally unstable according to you, then where is my disability? Where are my benefits from having served my country? I have zero money coming in. I'm not complaining. I'm very grateful for my unemployment that was supposed to be from March to March, but it ended in October. I was supposed to be having some kind of a training, but I'm not here to train from you. I am here to train you. I have the documentation to prove it. Read my notes. This testing and testing and testing, you know the result of this test. Chernobyl, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, the whole earth is being held hostage, strapped with your bombs, and it has nothing to do with national security. And our very United Nations has allowed this. How is this looking after the children of this earth? How is this looking after the nations of this earth? How is this for national security among you? You're holding the whole earth hostage against its will, have strapped her with all of your bombs and your filth, and it is a crime against humanity and against God. Your intelligence does not impress me at all, because you're using your God-given gifts for destruction and self-destruction, and you're holding earth hostage. You are making our children suicidal, whether they want to or not. And this is a crime, because you did not create mankind. I will prove it to you. You must be born from God. I will bring you with me, all of you, your organizations that are supposed to be looking after the earth. You will come with me through levels of height and depth into He, because He is the code. And we're going to disarm together with God, not without. So make sure you have some good preachers on your team praying in your language, in your culture, and in your religion. I didn't wake up before 6 o'clock in the morning to deliver this message because I am crazy. My Father God said, get up, deliver. If Mother Earth were to blow up, it affects the solar system. It affects the whole universe. And you did not create mankind, much less planets. So, it would be in your best interest to reconsider what you have been doing with your people's money and resources and our planet's resources. Because the United Nations says that there's going to be no more nuclear weapons. But between now and then, who knows how long it is? Look how long we've known that solar power is good. It was posted on United Nations website. It was an article from an archived article from 1978. And still today, in none of these southern neighborhoods, none of them have solar power. None where I have lived. Since 1978. So between the time that they pass a law and the time it gets done, it's forever. I'm not saying do it hastily, and I'm not saying disarm in a disorderly fashion and fast. I'm saying take your time, do it right, but with God, not without. The time has come because your testing and your testing and your testing has been polluting our oceans and our earth and the air that we breathe. I want to know how you think this is intelligent. Who do you think you're fooling? You're in a very unhealthy competition among you. Oh, what does Pakistan and India's nuclear weapons look like? When the United States and France and the UK are at the top of your game. And we don't know about certain countries. We don't know because their nuclear program is not as transparent as ours. All of this bluffing and all of this destruction is the work of Satan. Remember that God is the code and the key and the cure. USA is in the heart of Jerusalem. And USA is in the heart of me. So, come at me with your crosshairs. I am ready. You are looking at yourself in the mirror. I am not against you. I am for you. But I will not put up with corruption. I will not put up with this plan of yours to have me filing unemployment from March to March and ends in October of last year. I have to file taxes, and I'm not able to file taxes because there's a discrepancy. And I am not going to allow anybody to say, look, this lady worked. We want her on the table. Well, I will show you what on the table means. Okay? On the table means I agreed to file unemployment so that I'm not here sitting, smooching off the people. Taking care of my own needs. For two, it wasn't my idea of filing unemployment. But I did it because it was the right thing to do at the time. For 3, I was entitled to it from March to March, and it stopped in October. For 4, I applied for jobs when I came here to this very city, and nobody called me back. So I took a minimum paying job, and I did it well for a very brief time before this pandemic. I was asked to come back to work to help the business, and it was supposed to be for 2 goes. So I did it after having placed in my unemployment. They were aware of that. I was waiting for my unemployment. No double dipping here. They said, you don't have to worry about clocking in. It's going to be taken care of at the bar. Everything's going to be very orderly. We just need you to help the business stay afloat. So I'm helping the business stay afloat. It wasn't under the table, but it was me not clocking in because I had already filed for unemployment. My unemployment hadn't come in. I wasn't making thousands of dollars helping the business stay afloat. I don't play games. I need my son returned to me. I have been living here for a whole year, and I'm being told that no, you cannot bring your son here. It would have been better for me to have been illegal, because it is a lot easier for an illegal immigrant to be assisted by its own American citizens than it is for a veteran. I am not a politician. I have never desired to be. I am not your enemy. I am not somebody that you need to backstab. I am not a football coach. I have no weapons. I am my father's daughter, and I am a messenger. E4. I miss my son Alexander. I miss my simple life. When I lived in that house on Horseshoe Bend, I didn't invite everybody and their brother in my house. Because if y'all were putting on a show, I certainly was not benefiting from it financially. It was electronic harassment. And I'm not going to allow that some of your computer scientists can just sit on their butt all day while I'm cleaning house and I'm taking care of the home and the cooking and everything that it involves taking care of a home and a child, and for the team against me. Well, what are you going to do for a living? You ungrateful people.